The joys of rookies ingratiating themselves into the NFL as the season progresses. A lot of them obviously not going to contribute much to a championship right now, but they're making impacts on their teams, and who knows, maybe they'll bring that team a championship later in the future. And then we get to play this game now, where do we know if we drafted the right guy? Hello, everybody, and welcome to Week 10 of the 2023 NFL season and my prediction picks. I'm your host, Catherine, and you are on the Blind Canadian Cat YouTube channel. I say meow, I roll intros, and I try to get this shit done on time, but apparently life will not let me have it that way. But you know what? Good thing the bar is set low already, and so I can just go at my own pace. And Marlon might want to say hi too. Hi, Marlon. Do you want to say hi? Come on. See, Marlon wants to say hi even. So we're all a little happy. Oh, big baby. But as Marlon claws up every part of my body as per usual, let us go take a look at last week's results right here. Starting off with a 10-4 straight up. 7-7 against the spread. Yeah, some games you win, some games you lose. Got a couple close calls, but it is what it is. And totals 9-5. We're doing surprisingly well in totals this year. So I'm trying not to jinx anything. I'm not trying to press my luck. But we're doing really good on totals. So I'm going to try to keep it that way. Keep things rolling. And hope for the best. Straight up picks right here. 88-48 on total, which I believe is right about average or above average for most prediction people. I haven't really looked at everyone's. And then spreads and totals again, it's wavery. We'll see what we do. And before I get into the picks, I actually kind of want to do this as well, because we are now at the halfway point of the regular season. So not only do I want to check in on my standings at them now, I want to check in with all my friends. So I will put all my friends right here. As of now, I'll definitely do Subleaf and Rice Soup, because we've been doing our thing on Twitter every week. So that's always been fun. But I'll throw in Justin and Chris here too, just because. Why not? It's nice to compare ourselves against everyone and see how we're all doing. And the season's still young, so there are plenty of games to go. In fact, I still think we're not even at 50%. But we'll get there with these games, and let's get into these picks. Starting off with another uneventful and boring Thursday night football game. Woo! With the Chicago Bears and the Carolina Panthers. In this game, it's... Again, you're asking me how to care. Chicago might care, but not even for the right reason. Because, if you remember, Carolina gave their first round pick to Chicago to get the quarterback they have right now. So, Carolina sees that it doesn't even matter, because tanking or not, they don't have their first round pick. Chicago has it. And Chicago already sucks. So there's a good chance that this team's going to have 2 top 5 picks. And Carolina is just going to be stuck in the, well, shit. And then just kind of not know where to go from there. So, unironically, in a game where 2 teams should be tanking now, because at this rate they're definitely not making the playoffs, Chicago gains more from winning this game, because Carolina's still 1-7, 1-8 right now, while Chicago has a win or 2 here or there. So it would be in Chicago's best interest to keep Carolina down, especially now with Arizona. They're getting Kyler Murray back, so Kyler Murray is probably going to help them win some games. The roster itself is still kind of meh, but having a better quarterback should give Arizona more chances of games. So I think Chicago stands more to win this game. So why not? I'm taking Chicago. I was going to go with Carolina. But after the way they performed against Indy, I kind of don't want to touch Carolina at all. I don't want to touch the whole NFC South, if I'm being honest. I hate all those teams. I hate them. Like, I was there, I had faith, and like, especially with Atlanta. Like, Atlanta, you're there. Like, and even with Taylor Heineke now, like, you know, it felt like a great 10-7 team who can make a wild card. It would make the 4v5 game very interesting. But then you lose to Josh Dobbs, and now I'm stuck wondering what to think. But yeah, spoilers, I'm picking against the whole NFC South in these videos. I'm done with all of them. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, I'm taking Chicago. And I hate myself for doing it, but you know what? Whatever. Maybe DJ Moore pops for another 200-yard game to keep his fantasy value high, even though he's been mediocre at best for most of the year. We'll see. The Germany game, the final one, and the one that no one will actually be trying to wake up for because nobody cares. But this, I will say, Indy absolutely should be the favorite here, but I gotta be honest with y'all. I'm kind of thinking New England. And for this point, mostly of like Bill Belichick. And yes, Bill Belichick at this point looks worse and worse without Brady, but you know, he's not the worst. And I don't really know. I don't even remember who the Colts coach is, so like I don't know what to think of him. But this just feels like a game that the Patriots win solely due to Bill Belichick's coaching. What does that mean? Does that mean their defense does well enough that Gardner Minshew throws picks? Maybe. Does that mean the offense does just enough? The offense was close to doing just enough against DC last week, so again, there's stuff there. I don't have a lot of wide receivers, but something is there. So I'm taking New England just because, like, this just feels like a Bill Belichick game to win. That's just what it feels like. Niners over the Jags. They're just gotta get back on the streak at some point, because if they lose their fourth game in a row, then the turmoil and everything that's in there, that's gonna be rough. So Sam's gotta get back on track, and I like Jacksonville. I do think Jacksonville's a great team, but like I'm not there in the sense of I think they're a Super Bowl contender. Like, here's what I think. I think Jacksonville is a good enough team that they'll probably be a 3 seed maybe. They win a game. They might challenge a 2 seed depending on who the 2 seed is. And that's it. They could make the conference championship, but I don't think they're going to win one. I don't. I'm not there with Jacksonville yet. So I'm taking Denver. Like I said, I'm just betting against the whole NFC South. I don't care anymore. So Minnesota to beat New Orleans, Tennessee to beat Tampa, and even later on, I'm taking Kyler Murray's return to beat the Falcons because I don't want to touch the NFC South anymore. I just don't. I really don't. But other things we missed, I think Ravens dominate Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland might want some revenge for the way that the Ravens dominated them in Cleveland. I was there. Fantastic game. But at this point, the Ravens at home, I almost don't want to question it. I'm just not gonna. You do that to Detroit and Seattle, which I think of both teams are better than Cleveland. So let's see what you do to Cleveland. Or this might be a game that the Baltimore kind of sleeps on because they have to go to they have Cincy on the Thursday game. So this might be a game they overlook. So with that spread, there's a chance that Cleveland backdoor covers somehow. But I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take the spread anyway. I'm just gonna take it. Oh, since you could have the same dilemma there, they could be thinking about, okay, Houston, who just put on a show, so CJ Stroud should not be taken lightly, might be having that thing. But they're like, at the same time, the Ravens, we gotta go into Baltimore next week on a Thursday night game. And after looking at all the other teams that have gotten to Baltimore, it's not been fun. So there's a good chance that both Baltimore and Cincy overlook their games respectively, and thus those games become close, which is why these 6-point spreads could make things interesting. But I do think both teams are significantly better than their opponents, so they should be able to win by a touchdown. They should be able to. Steelers over the Packers, I don't really care. And good job, Packers. You beat a team with Brett Rippon. And as far as we're concerned, Brett Rippon is not good. I'm going Lions over Chargers. This feels like a game the Chargers would win for no reason, because Chargers have games where they just beat good teams. Like, I don't know where. They lose to bad teams, but they beat good teams. This feels like one of those Charger wins, but like, I'm going to go with the Lions because I still think the Lions are a top 5 team. What's top 5? It's Philly, it's KC, it's Baltimore, it's Detroit. And you can make an argument for Dallas at 5. I'm not convinced with Miami at this point. They haven't beaten a good team. And I don't know who else. I'm not convinced with Jacksonville yet. Cincy will probably be there by the end of the regular season, but they gotta keep building. Hell no to Buffalo. And yeah, that's kind of what I think. So yeah, I'll take Detroit, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Chargers won. Cowboys to the Giants, I'm gonna fucking shoot myself in the face for taking this high of a spread, but they beat them 40-0 in week 1 when the Giants had everything. Now the Giants don't have anything. Dallas, do not let me down. Please 40-0 them again. Please. Sounds over DC, but I'll get this one. I'll give DC benefit of the doubt here and let them have that +6, because Seattle at this point has been kind of shaky as is. So it's hard to trust them a little bit. Seattle should absolutely win by more than a touchdown against the Commanders. But at this point, I'm iffy to give them that. It's not even the Commanders, it's more of I'm iffy to give Seattle -6. So Commanders +6, even if this is just a backdoor cover. This is more than likely a backdoor cover. But I'm not there with DC. Or I'm not there with Seattle to give them that big of a cover. You can go either way with the Sunday night game. I don't know if anyone's ever going to be watching it. I guess there are, for intents and purposes, playoff implications. But, man, I don't know if I want to deal with Zach Wilson in another primetime game, because the NFL's like, hey, Aaron Rodgers, let's schedule a billion primetime games. Oh, no, he's gone. What are we going to do? Even though they could have definitely flexed this out. They 100% could have flexed this out and chose not to. Like, you had Lions Chargers. You had Ravens Browns. You had Niners Jags. You had games. You could have gave us something way better than this. You chose not to. You chose not to. But I'm going Jets. Both because Raiders are going to get their one high because, yay, we fired our coach and we're going to try hard against the Giants team. And then Daniel Jones got out, so they ended up dominating them anyway. But I do think the Jets are a better team, and the last time Zach Wilson was on Sunday night, he actually kind of tried a little bit. But again, I do think the Jets are a better overall team than the Raiders, so I'm rolling with the Jets. And then Bills over Broncos. Bills are definitely the better team here. And I'm not gonna say Denver is a good team. I won't. But again, we're going back to Buffalo. You haven't really given me faith in you to give you high spreads. This is another one of those where it's not because I'm confident in Denver to cover this. It's more of I'm not confident in Buffalo to cover it. But we'll see. Denver feels like a sneaky team here because the defense is awful, but the offense, there's something there, and it's I don't know. I still trust Denver more than I do Vegas, personally. I still do. But I guess we're just going to have to wait and see. And that's that. And I did bring back Cat Parlay of the Week this week. So let's see if we can win some money on that one. We're going Seattle money line. I wanted to give them the spread, but I don't trust them. Cincinnati money line, they should absolutely win by more than a touchdown against Houston. But I think Houston's too up and down that I worry about covering 6.5 for Cincy. And then Ravens -6. Ravens should beat the Browns. I'm not gonna say 20-3 win kind of game, but like they should beat the Browns. Cowboys spread again. If the Cowboys can beat the Giants 40-0 in New York with everyone healthy, they should be able to beat them by at least 3 scores, and they have nobody healthy. And then I'm going that German game under 43.5. Indy might put up points. Again, this might be one of those games where Indy does win, and I'm just being biased. But 43 seems like too much for two teams who haven't really done a whole lot. Hi, Marlon. And then we peek over into fantasy really quick, where still struggling on all fronts, still having a difficult time trying to figure things out. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep trying. We're not dead in any of these playoffs. So even with these 2-7, 3-6, we are not dead. So there's still a chance. We've got matchups against Teddy, got Arctic, Carmine. I need to beat Carmine because he's going to be a pain in the ass. I mean, he's pretty much blocked me right now and won't talk and doesn't appear in the group chat anymore. So, like, I don't even know what his opinions are anymore, but I need to win. Just because I know somehow, some way. I bet you if I lose this game, if I lose this fantasy matchup this week, he will personally unblock me and tell me that he beat me. I guarantee it. So I need this win. And then, of course, me being 2-7, who do I get next week now? I get Conrad, who is the number 1 seed. So, yeah. At this point, I think I would have been better just redrafting a team than taking over a team that just wasn't good. I'm trying to build it back up, and it's not working. It's just not working. But yeah, that is going to be all from me. Thank you all for tuning into this video. Make sure you follow me on my Twitter, CanadianCatCP, Instagram, The Blind Canadian Cat. Hop into my Discord, where we finally got to drag hometown Nathan back into it. So come bully my high school best friend, and I'm sure he can tell you plenty of stories about how I was as a child. But until then, choose peace, accept love, and have big trust. My name is Catherine. You guys have a great night.